Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Movie Files. Elliot back again with a brand new movie review, and today we're discussing a new neon thriller drama starring the one, the only, Nicolas Cage and Pig. Now, I'm really excited to let you all know what I thought about this movie, and if you all should give it a watch, all in the spoiler-free review. Before we break it all down, do me a favor and check me out on all my other social media accounts. If you all are new to the channel, well, welcome to the community. Consider subscribing, and while you all are at it, make sure you hit that notification bell. That way you can get the alert from when I drop new content. If you all enjoyed my review of Pig, well, make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Also, share the video. It helps out the channel a lot, but I also appreciate the support. And in the comments, for all my Nicolas Cage fans out there, let me know what was your excitement level for Pig. And once you've seen it, we gotta talk about this movie. Let's talk about your pros, your cons. Were you pleasantly surprised? Were you disappointed? Did you enjoy the story, the characters? Let's talk about it in the comments below. So when I saw this trailer a couple months ago, I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is Nicolas Cage. He has his pig stolen. We're talking some, Nicolas Cage is going to probably go crazy, go John Wick style to get his pig back. It has thriller in the genre, but it's also a drama. So what were we in for? Let's start off with my positives. I got to say it because I follow a lot of great content creators out there, and I've been seeing the tweets, favorite film of the year, best surprise hit film of the year, one of Nicolas Cage's best performance of his career. So I'm thinking to myself, what's going on here? And I'm thinking when I watch it later at night. Just a little story here. I was watching later at night, and I'm like, there's no way. The people, I know there's some Nick Cage fans out there that go hard for Nick Cage and think that everything he makes is a masterpiece. And don't get me wrong, Nicolas Cage is one of the best actors working in Hollywood. But I'm just like, hey, he has a fandom that goes hard for him. So maybe people are being a little bit overhyped. But listen, man, this film surprised the hell out of me. It's a thriller, sure, but it's more of the drama that really compelled me. It's the story of a man, not to give too much away from the story. Again, if you saw the trailer, read the synopsis, I'm going to put in the description. It's essentially a man who's kind of given up in life, and he's put himself in a cabin far away from people in the woods. He has his pig. His pig is taken away from him. He gets involved with Alex Wolff's character, and they're on the hunt to find his truffle pig. Very simple premise, but it's more than that, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't want to give too much because this was one of those films of the element of surprise. It's one of those situations where I don't want to give too much away from the actual plot of the film, but it's a story of rediscovering who you are. It's a story of self-reflection. It's a story of taking in pride for what you do for a living and not put it on a facade. It's a story of, again, just a journey of a man finding his pig that he is very fond of. And it's just a really great story, man. Let me shift a little bit and talk about the director, Michael Sarnoski, who this is his directorial debut, writing and directing a film, which kudos to you. First film out of the gate, you get a great actor in Nicolas Cage and a great up-and-coming actor in Alex Wolff, and you pull two great performances from these great actors. I thought the direction and the pacing and the way they unfold the story, again, it's one of those situations where you go into it thinking it's one thing, and for me, I came out glad that it wasn't what I thought it was, because again, I don't want to give too much away. It's not an action movie, guys. It's not the thrilling action or the thriller type of film that the trailer kind of gives off, where you think he's going to get John Wick style and kill all these guys and get his pig. It's not that. Again, it's a story of this man, this kind of sleeping giant of a sorts, who has a past within the Portland food industry. I'll just kind of leave it at that. And him just going through the different underbellies of Portland and trying to find his pig, going underground, going across these really dangerous spots, going to the elite levels of Portland, going to these particular spots that no man of his stature, no man in the condition that he's in should be in these type of facilities. And it's just going on this journey, again, of self-discovery, reflection of your life, rediscovering who you are as a person, opening yourself back up. And again, the direction was there, but let me kind of dive deeper into the performances. When people said this is one of Nicolas Cage's best performances in years, and not that he hasn't been, not that he's been throwing out stinkers, but there's some moments when Nick Cage kind of cuts it off and he's just like playing into the absurdity. Like sometimes I think Nicolas Cage, he's one of those actors where if he sees some quirkiness or some weirdness in the story, even if it's kind of lacking, he's going to take the role just to kind of play. He's an actor, acting is like an athlete. They have to practice sometimes, right? And sometimes they have the big game and they're really clicking on all cylinders, but I think this is, a great way to describe Nicolas Cage's performance. But sometimes they just want to go in a gym and shoot some hoops. And I think that's sometimes what Nicolas Cage does with some of the poorly executed screenplays and some of the films he's been in his career. But nonetheless, this is Nick Cage at his best. best, ladies and gentlemen. He plays Rob, again, a man that's kind of detached himself from society for over 10 plus years, and he's really been able to connect to being in the wilderness, but in particularly having this bond with a pig. And I can relate to that. I don't have a pig, but I have a dog, and I can speak to, it's just this unspeakable, unconditional love that animals can give you. And he had that connection with the pig. So once it's taken away from him, it really kind of destroys his life, and it kind of opens up wounds from his past as the story kind of unfolds. So Nick Cage, man, he's giving you, it's in the eyes, it's in the emotions, it's in the dialogue. You know, if you guys saw Willy's Wonderland, he didn't speak a word in that film, but he's speaking in this movie, in the dialogues, the monologues. There's a particular scene that he has with a particular chef halfway through the film, which I thought was just like such an intense, real moment for those characters. So Nick Cage, man, he is clicking on all cylinders, and his chemistry with Alex Wolff, who is a up-and-coming superstar, you know, whether it be, you might have seen him in Jumanji, Hereditary, Ari Aster really pulled a great performance out of him, and I'm really excited to see what Alex Wolff does with M. Night Shyamalan's Old. But the chemistry between Rob and what we get with Alex's Wolff character, who is they have a business together, I'll just say that, and it kind of starts off as like this fractured kind of business relationship where they just have to work, they have to get along because they do business together. But as the film unfolds, we learn more about Alex Wolff, how he was raised, his father, who was a really interesting character, and then just seeing that kind of tension between the two up the beginning of the film, and how they slowly begin to trust one another as Rob is kind of reintroducing himself into society, was just such a great kind of friendship story that I really enjoyed about it. But the acting there, I don't want to give too much away of the story, but the journey we go on from point A to get to point Z, the emotional journey, the parts of Rob that we learn from his past and who he used to be and how people really respected him. But once he kind of detached himself from society, people thought that he was a ghost, he was dead, and just rediscovering who he is as a person was just such a fascinating journey. So I was really surprised by how emotionally connected I got towards in this film. Like, I'm not gonna lie, man, I'm a man that has no fear in admitting to being emotional to a film, and I got pretty emotional in that third act, and I thought it was so well earned by the time we got to the third act. But I will say, let me just kind of switch into the criticisms here, because I'm making it seem like this is the best movie of the year, which, hey man, this is a really good movie, but there are some cons, and I have to say, the first half of the film, I want to say maybe the first 20 minutes, I wasn't really into the movie. I'm not going to lie. I was checking my phone. I was kind of, really wasn't involved in the story, because it was just kind of like, it's kind of ridiculous. This man is in the wilderness. He's looking for his pig. He's going all these weird places. And I'm just like, I don't know if I'm really digging this. But it's not until Alex Wolff and Rob really get to kind of get on the same page. And once we kind of dive deeper into the emotional elements of who Rob used to be and how that kind of connects to Rob and how they kind of have this bondship of their past and losing people and having to deal with grief in a particular manner, is really when the film picked up to me. So once we kind of hit that second act and we travel to a particular city in Portland, or the downtown area in Portland, that's when the film really kind of picks up its personality. The pacing and the drama and learning who these people are really kind of resonated with me. So again, taking away that first half, that's really my only criticism. And it's not that the first half was terrible, it just wasn't as compelling as the rest of the film. So before I give you all my overall thoughts and my score of this film, if you haven't already, make sure to like the video, share the video, leave your thoughts in the comments, and of course subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join this awesome community. So with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Pig is one of the best surprises for me this year, because again, based on that trailer, I'm thinking it's Nick Cage, it's going to be guns blazing, some corny one-liners, some crazy Cageisms, him in a bathroom screaming at a pig or something. It's not that. And don't be disappointed, because again, I don't want people to go into this thinking it's an action movie. It's not that. It's a character study. It's a character development. It's slower pace. It's a slow burn, but it has a great payoff when it comes to that third act. So Nick Cage, Alex Wolff, Michael directorial debut. I'm going to give Pig a solid 4 out of 5, ladies and gentlemen. It will be available this coming weekend. It is produced by Neon. I believe it's going to have a limited theatrical release, and then it'll be slowly coming out to streaming. So if you get the opportunity to check out Pig, again, put the action expectations to the side. This is a character study. This is a drama that has a great emotional payoff, at least in my opinion. And that's why I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. So that's my thoughts on Pig. Check it out, and when you do, let me know what your thought about it, your pros, your cons. I think this is one of Nicolas Cage's best performances in quite a long time, and that says a lot because he, you know, Mandy and The Color Out of Space and a couple other things he's been working on the last few years has been fantastic. But this is a performance to remember, ladies and gentlemen. So that's just my thoughts. I want to know what you all thought about it. If you stuck around to the end of the video, I really appreciate you all. Make sure, again, if you haven't already, to like the video, share the video, leave your thoughts in the comments once you've seen the film, and of course, hit the notification bell. That way you don't miss any of my other future content. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Hope you're staying safe. We'll see you on the next video.